I can say. And Linda Spalding, we're sorry we lost you. Call back. We need your call. And I want to talk to the old man if he's there. You know, Linda Spalding that works for the Office of the Aging and has been just doing a bang-up job. Unfortunately, they've been cutting funding from their Office of the Aging. For instance, one program after another seems to be disappearing, especially the legislature chopped them and the federal chopped them, and now the state is probably going to chop them, and God knows where they're going to get the next nickel. All I can say is Marianne Spanos takes a penny and squeezes it until it squeaks, and she's not going to have very many pennies left shortly.
Really?
Marianne, my heart goes out to you. You do a great job. And also Ron Vittlich, who helps a lot over there, who's not here today, I might add. Okay, we have a nice opportunity to talk with the pilot, the director, and the captain of that beautiful little ferry that crosses at Bemis Point. And I wanted to ask you one more question about that ferry. What happens if it stops? Then what do people do? You're out in the middle of the water.
I have been told that I can get off it in tightrope walk. I hold onto the ferry and I walk the cable, and you can actually get the ferry running. You can actually get it moving.
You can actually move it, by
as long as you don't fall in the water. If you can stay on the cable. I'm still not sure. I guess it's true, but that's one of those things you never know if they're just joking around with me, seeing if I'm crazy enough to get in or not.
Well, you got a phone call. You want to take a call?
Sure.
Okay, thank you, caller.
Good morning. First, I have a comment. No matter what you have to say about New York State, good, bad, or whatever, we got it right last night.
Yeah, I commented on that. Now anybody can get married in New York.
Well, hey, people, in my opinion, I've had these rights my whole life, and all people deserve the right to be with their partners and to...
Well, I have a friend that's very close to a goat, and I was wondering whether that would be allowed now.
Is a goat a consenting adult?
Yeah, it is.
I'm not quite sure about that.
It's a consenting adult goat, I know that.
Well, no, I haven't heard the goat consent yet. I need to hear him say I'm a consenting adult.
I see. Well, the goat is lives out in Faulkner, I might add.
Well, I hope it's a happy goat. Anyhow, I do have a question for your guest.
Okay.
And you refer to both the ferry, which is wonderful. I usually try to ride the ferry every year at least once, just for the pleasure of it. And when I was a young girl, actually, I swam across Lake Chautauqua at where the ferry is, which, as you know, is not really that far.
900 feet.
But
for me.
I had a nickel secreted in my suit, and I lost it somewhere in the middle of the lake because I was going to ride the ferry back. So I ended up swimming across and back because I lost my nickel. But anyhow, you can tell that's dating me. A nickel was a long time ago.
It was way before my time. I had to pay a quarter.
For walking?
No, walking was 15 cents.
It was a nickel when I did it.
Was it?
Yeah.
Not kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
Shows how old she is, huh?
Oh, my gosh.
It was a long time ago, anyways.
Yeah.
And, but I still can remember it. It was a...
You remember the swim, anyway.
Exactly. It has embedded itself in my memories. But the sea lion, now, I did miss the first part of the show. Are there plans for what they're going to do with the sea lion once it is completed with its, they're working on its revival? I mean, is it going to be staying in the Westfield Harbor, or is it going to come back to Chautauqua where it originally was?
They can send it back to Buffalo and sink it again.
Well, I don't think, don't do that, please. I don't think you're going to see it back at Chautauqua Lake. Right now, our plans, there's been a lot of talk going around. We really don't know. Right now, I'm pretty happy. I like it in Westfield.
Well, I do too, but I live in Westfield, so.
Yeah.
But I do know that originally, although the builder was a Westfield boy, a man rather, he had been a boy when I was young, and but he lived in, I believe he lived in Mayville at the time he was constructing.
Oh, you're talking about Cowan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Ernie Cowan. Yeah, he lived in Mayville, didn't he?
And
A
so,
fine-
of
yeah,
course, it was a
towards-
Mayville thing and ended
Yeah.
up in the Mayville waters, which I thought was fine because a lot of the waters there are usually a lot calmer than New York, and people came and could see it actually in the water. And occasionally it would go out on the lake so they could see it in action, which I thought that was wonderful. But anyways, I just wondered if there were any tentative plans and when, if you know when approximately the restoration will be done.
Right now, I'm not sure.
It looks like it's pretty well restored.
It's
painted
looking
now.
good.
Yeah.
I guess the main deck's starting to need some work, but
Now,
Look-
this is being done by volunteers mostly.
everything's volunteers. When we first started in 2003, put a little plastic pail at the top of the hill by the brochures, and that was about the only money that we got.
Probably very little, I might add.
I mean, just pennies and
Yeah.
very little. A lot of times, nothing. We had one gentleman that worked with us. He passed away a few years ago. Tom Hobson. He was able to. He had a friend donated like $1,500, I think, and that was our money. Most everything was donated when we started putting it together. We had several colors of primer on it and different paints, and everything was donated. It was pretty colorful there them first few days when we were priming it. And
What you need is somebody to keep it in the public's eye, write articles for the paper and so forth, and then it would, kind of keep it in the public's eye and so forth. And
Yeah, that's-
perhaps you'd get more donations and more volunteers.
when I first started the website, I heard from so many people around the world. It was amazing. Had some authors that wrote a book on just sailing ships, and of course they had a picture of the sea lion. They sent it to me. I looked at it, and it was in New York City. And it was like, I'm a newbie. I got a hold of one of the divers, and he goes, "That's not the sea lion." And right then I learned about the Half Moon Henry
Oh, yeah.
Hudson boat.
Annie Hudson's Half Moon.
And they were really shocked to find out they had the wrong name on the picture. So it was a Half Moon in New York City, but Ernie Cowan had worked on the Half Moon, I guess, towards the end, and when it was just about done. So that's, I guess, where they got it mixed up in it. Finally, when I found out about the Half Moon, okay. But it was interesting. I mean, I wish, I could have went back to when it was on Chautauqua Lake. I guess I was traveling the world at the time, so I don't remember much of it on Chautauqua Lake, and I'm really upset about that. As I say, the first time I really remember it, they come bringing it by my house in DeWittville on the trailers, taking it to Barcelona to take on a buffalo. But
Yeah, buffalo did kind of did not do it much good. I will say that.
No,
However, well, I wish you very much luck on it, and it is certainly is something that we could be proud of, and that would help draw tourism to the area, which, as we all know, is what it's all about nowadays for this area.
Yeah, well, we have a little tourist shack right down there in Barcelona where
Yes,
they can
we
find
do.
out all about it. And
Yes.
it's again attended by mostly senior volunteers.
Volunteers,
It's fantastic.
right.
I
So
guess
if you're a senior and you're bored and you're looking for something to do, hey, volunteer.
There's plenty of work because we've been cut back on our budget so much at the state, local, and federal level. There's very little money left for anything.
That is true. That is true. But anyhow, I've
Yeah, okay.
enjoyed chatting with you and your guest, and another time, another place.
Thank you very much, caller.
Okay.
Send me a stamped envelope. I'll give you $5 off at the Lakeview. It's a lovely little restaurant at the foot of the hill in Mayville.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, they have a fish fry that'll kill, and they have a salad bar that has everything you ever dreamed of in your salad.
Then they got Rick, who got me. He did got this polar bear swim going to raise funds
right,
for the
but,
food pantry, and
And he went on the first one.
he
I
went
haven't
in the
seen him
first
lately.
time.
Well, when you get older, when you jump into freezing water on Lake Chautauqua, you guys go in when it's covered with ice. It does so shock your body.
I was so glad this year I didn't polar bear. I stood out there taking pictures, and I couldn't even get my gloves on. I was shaking so bad. It was so cold, and it was like,
Can you imagine jumping into the water?
But once you get out of the water, you can walk around for quite a while.
I bet it certainly feels good to be out of the water.
It does. You can go out in the freezing cold and you don't even notice it there for a while, but it's...
I have a couple of announcements I wanted to make here. First of all, I wanted to thank Joel Sechrist and Martha Bills, who donated a lovely painting to us, poster, and it's available for anybody who wants. The poster showing the Westfield Park, and there's a big clock there that's beautiful. And so they have another poster of the very famous lighthouse down in Barcelona, which is the first gaslit lighthouse in the world or the country or the universe, I'm not sure, but it's certainly in the country. And they're building funds for the Westfield Development Corporation, which is a group organized to further promote Westfield and the general area. We have this going on across the whole county, and of course there's incredible opportunity for tourism up here because we have so many gorgeous lakes and the mountains, the hills and the fields and the beautiful timberlands, the parks. We have so much wonderful stuff here. And they are donating this painting, and it's a $20 painting, and I'll show. Randy, would you whip over there and show them what it looks like? Randy's going to have to do double service here. He's going to give you a shot of that poster. Beautiful. It's heavy. It's big. It's 2 feet, 2.5 feet by a foot anyway. Can you get that there? There you go. That's not a very good picture because of the reflection of our lights. We have these great big heavy-duty lights going on in here, and they're LEDs. Thank you, Randy. Good enough. Now see if we can get me back in there, and you too. So at any rate, if you want that, give me a call, and I'll be happy to give it to you. It's free, absolutely free for somebody, and just mention the Westfield Development Corporation. Now, Epic has made some major cuts in our Epic. It looks like they've dropped the cost of the Epic program, I should say the means test income a little bit, and it looks like we're going to get some other changes, and I'm going to have somebody who's a specialist about it, hopefully soon, to come down and talk about it, and we'll see what we can do. People who are involved with Epic seem to be very tight-lipped these days, Randy. I can't seem to get anybody to talk about it.
I'm wondering if they actually know what's going on in my head.
I don't think they know.
I mean, it's good when it works, but when I go to the drugstore, a lot of times they have problems.
Uh-huh.
But it does save a lot of money.
If you are low income, and I think that right now the income level's around somewhere around $50,000 for a couple, you don't do bad. It's just an insurance program. You pay for the insurance, but the insurance is very reasonable, and if you need drugs, you're all set, okay? Enough said, Randy. I thank you for talking a little bit about the ferry and about the sea line, but I just got this message right here.
Done already?
We're out of here. Okay, Randy has been quite involved, and I want to thank him very much. Randy Burt, thank you for helping out here.
I just want to thank Reed, too, because if Reed hadn't been up to the Sea Lion ship, we'd have never probably been
that's
working
where I met him, when he was out there working his derriere off. Chuck Kelsey, Devin Taylor, Chris Burt, Randy Burt, Chris Ramaker, Jeff Zook, Don Zenz, John Hamels. I want to thank everybody for helping us out here. Last caller, we didn't get you, but that's okay. It's probably Linda. She'll call next week. Anyway, get out there and have a beautiful day. And may all that is proud and true and noble abide with you. I'm Reed Powers.